All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Two Guys in a Six Pack. Your host here, Nick Seger.
And Seger-Ballard, of course.
We are coming to the end of week 2. We have 2 Monday Night Football games tonight. New Orleans travels to Carolina, and we got the Browns traveling to the Steelers. I don't know why they're starting. They started these games like an hour after each other. Why couldn't you just like start one at 6 and start one at 8 so we could actually watch them?
Enjoy both of them.
Yeah, but they kind of fucked us over on that. But we're gonna talk a little bit about fantasy football, our league we got going on. I'm straight stinking it up right now, and then
we both are. It's not good for both of us.
And we'll talk about a little bit we saw in week 1 because we haven't been on here in a week or so, and then we'll talk what we've seen from our teams in week 2 and our predictions going forwards. And so, anything you want to start off with, Shelby?
Well, you did. You posted something about the Colts in week 1, so I kind of feel like I'm obligated to go first on this. With the Patriots this season, there's a few things between week 1 and week 2 that are just really similar. The first thing that I want to bring up is why in the world are we starting off every game so slow that we don't put any points up? It was 16-0 last week at half. Last week at half, and then like this week it's 17-3, which is better, but you're still in the same situation. So there's just a lot of stuff that I noticed, especially last night watching the Patriots play the Dolphins, where offense just does not click, especially in the first half. The one play in particular from last night that I want to bring up is it was 2nd and 1 in the second quarter, and we went for a quarterback sneak on 2nd and 1. Like, in what situation is that the play that you want to call?
No.
Like, your whole playbook is wide open. Whatever you call, if it doesn't work, as long as you don't turn the ball over, you have another shot before it's 4th down. So why not try something? It's just I don't know. The offense has me questioning a lot the way they start out games, but in the second half, it just seems like everything kind of clicks together. We just don't have enough to really get the job done.
It's because you guys go hurry up in the second half, and you guys gel in the hurry up. Mac just slings it.
When Mac speeds the offense up, he is smart enough to realize and read the field to where the offense can click.
Yeah,
and the dude is making plays. A lot of what we're seeing, I don't think it's necessarily Mac Jones' fault. When I look at Mac, he reminds me of his rookie year. I get nervous when he throws the ball, sure, but
I think that's anybody, though.
Yeah, that's anybody.
Yeah.
Unless you're Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes or like those elite tier quarterbacks, you get a little nervous. At least he's not hurt like Aaron Rodgers.
I can't really say anything bad about the Patriots because, you guys one score away from the Dolphins, and how close was you with the Eagles? Was it a 10-point game at the end?
No, it wasn't 10-play. If it was a 5-point lead.
5-point lead.
We got the ball back like late into the 4th to where if we were able to march down the field and score a touchdown, we would have won that game. It didn't happen. But Butte, like, he made a hell of a play on that. He just didn't drag his foot. Is out of bounds. It's a heartbreaking loss. Same with last night, where Gesicki could have got the first down, but he decides to lateral it to Cole Strange. And I still think that Cole Strange was in. The refs did not feel that way. So, unfortunately, it's another tough loss. It's a tough loss.
Yeah, but like I was saying, like, you can't knock on them because the Eagles and the Dolphins, them are 2 teams that could be easily in the Super Bowl this year. Not at the same time, obviously, but oh yeah, they could be in the Super Bowl. Yeah, because Eagles are NFC. Whoops. Yeah.
But the second point that I want to bring up is our defense it might be one of the best defenses in the league.
You guys held Tyreek Hill to like under 50.
Yeah, like 50, I think it was 52 yards. And a lot of the time, it was a rookie, Christian Gonzalez, who got his first interception last night, by the way. There's a hell of a play by the kid.
I fell asleep because I didn't see that play, but I heard about it. I heard it was a hell of an interception.
Like, he looks like corner one material.
Yeah.
And when I think of like defensive backs, if there's a team that I want to go to when I'm a rookie, it would be the Patriots, because that's just what Bill is really good at, is making good defensive players. Gonzalez is going to be that next big guy. He's shown plenty of flashes last week. He's shown even more last night going up against Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Those are two elite receivers that takes a lot. And he was able to make plays. He wasn't good all night, but I don't even think he was necessarily even the best player on defense. I would say that was Kyle Duggar last night.
Kyle Duggar plays. If you're talking overall between both teams, it's got to be that Van Geikel guy on the Miami Dolphins. Good Lord, he was everywhere.
I just think that's because our O-line is horrible.
It was so
bad. If we had a decent O-line, I feel like that would be the thing to make offense click, but it's not working. It's not working at all. Cole Strange looked horrible last night. He was our first-round draft pick from last year, and he looked awful. I'm just going to say it. Him, Michael Wenyu, who's another big O-line guy on the Patriots, they did not look good. David Andrews, our center, I think Andrews is the captain or one of the captains on the team. And again, there was a few plays where he muffed horribly. I don't know what we're going to have to do to fix that. That's where I don't really pin a lot of stuff that's going on with Mac. I think Mac is playing his heart out right now. Dude is making plays. Absolutely. He's made some mistakes. He's not perfect, sure, but whenever he can take off and run with the ball and get the first down. Like, he's smart enough that he knows he can do that. He's not fast, but when it comes up, it's like, well, okay, white guy can run the football.
I don't know. That was like 3rd and 13, and he seemed like he had some wheels. He was a boot-scooting boogie.
Even at that, though, like, he can run out to the right and hit Juju Smith-Schuster on the sideline and just throw a damn dot to set up a touchdown for Stevenson. So
I think Juju looks good. I think he's clearly your wide receiver one.
I think so, too. As far as last night goes, another thing I want to bring up, Demario Douglas has been just absolutely electric week 1 and week 2. The big thing about last night, though, was that I don't think he took another offensive snap after he fumbled the ball. He popped the ball out, gave it up. I feel like this is one of those arbitrary rules with both Bill Belichick and Bill O'Brien, is that if you do something like that and you're a rookie, well, you're going to sit on the bench for the rest of the night. I think if Douglas played more, I think the outcome might have been different. But I think Douglas has my attention.
I can't comment on the whole game because after halftime, I don't remember, what did you say, 17-3? And I fell asleep on the couch. I fell asleep. I was on my phone. I fell asleep on the couch. And I had a bet. It was a parlay, Ramon Stevenson or Ezekiel Elliott, to either one of them to score a touchdown and the Patriots to cover 7.5. And neither one of them scored, and the Patriots were down 17-3, and I fell asleep. And I woke up as fourth quarter, and the Patriots had the ball, and I was like, wait a second. This might hit. As soon as that happened, Ramon J runs it in for the end zone, and we're down. And Patriots are down 7. I was like, all right. And I ended up winning.
They can bring it. They can bring it back and bring it close. They keep it close. Defense keeps them in the game. It's just we got to figure out what's going on with offense.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's not all Mac's fault. The big thing is the O-line. We can't run the ball to save our life. We can very situationally, but it doesn't. It's too few and far between whenever we can really get the offense good and gel together. And usually it comes when we're playing from behind, and I don't like that. I want to be able to go out and see what they're doing in the second half. I want to see that in the first quarter.
For sure. I mean, they're not the Colts. I mean, we're 1-1, so we're probably going to make the Super Bowl this year. I'm just saying. No, but inside note. But I mean, in all honesty, no, the Colts. I hope we make the playoffs, and with our weak ass division, I believe there is a shot. But Anthony Richardson has to learn to slide. Yes, in high school, you was bigger and stronger than everybody, and you can run everybody over. In college, yeah, you probably outran everybody. This is the NFL. They're just as big as you are. Learn to slide.
On top of that, like, some of these guys have been doing this for a few years, so
exactly.
They're going to hit you. They're going to hit you because they're going to see dollar signs anytime they sack the shit out of you. So,
well, it's just like the second touchdown that he got hurt on. He rolled out, had the right side, had everybody beat. It was running to the right side. It's just him and the safety, and he thinks he could just gallop into the end zone and be fancy with it. Nah, that safety sees you. He's going to light you up. Exactly what he did. Slammed his head on the tail. Yeah, and maybe he was crossing the plane already, but he don't care. He's going to hit you. You could have easily just went down and avoided the hit altogether. Still got the touchdown, and you had been in the game the rest of the game. Well, hats off to Gardner Minshew because he came in, he was efficient, and we was up 14-0 when that happened, and he secured the win for us. So hats off to him.
Good old Uncle Rico.
Good old Uncle Rico coming to save the day.
He could throw a football over that mountain if he wanted to.
That's the exact reason why Shane Steichen went out and got a Gardner Minshew because he's played in Steichen's offense already. He knows the playbook. He's good enough for you to win games. I mean, he's the perfect backup. I
agree.
Yeah,
I think the perfect backup for y'all would be Carson Wentz.
Well, I've been screaming that.
You got me on the boat now. Like, if Carson Wentz was on the Colts again, I'd be happy to see that.
I love Carson Wentz.
I don't know why. Like, that's the team I want to see him on. I had a fun time.
Yeah, he was awesome. I love Carson Wentz.
He's not with anybody right now, is he, though?
No, he's just out hunting, living his best life.
Yo, hey, Jim Irsay, if you're watching this, spend a little bit of money. Just in case.
Go get him. Like, I mean, it was 1 year. It was Frank Wright's fault. It wasn't Carson Wentz's fault.
Don't get him what Billy did.
Get him back in the building. Fuck it, sign Nick Foles too. We'll just have the whole Eagles quarterback room. Oh man! But week one, we didn't get the job done against the Jaguars. Had every chance to win in the fourth quarter, leading it, and we squandered the lead. Jags took it over. Jags are like our juggernaut anyway. Yeah, kryptonite. Like we can't.
The Dolphins are the same thing for us. It's just more entertaining to watch.
Yeah, we can't. I don't know. The Jags always seem to have our number, so
they do.
We can get it done with them. But we are 1-1. Anthony Richardson, when he's on the field, is electric. He has a passing touchdown, 3 rushing touchdowns, and like almost 300 yards in 6 quarters played. So I can't knock on him. I mean, he's definitely electric, but we're on to face Baltimore next week, and that's real tough. Or that's a real test. So we'll see how that goes. Who you guys got next week?
We got the Jets, and I'm excited for that because
another divisional opponent. Yeah, I guess we started with 2 of them too.
Yeah, it's the Jets though, and now it's Zach Wilson's version of the Jets, not Aaron Rodgers' version of the Jets. So I kind of hope that every bit of. every bit of frustration that the Patriots have right now going 0-2, I hope they take it out on New York and just beat the living piss out of them.
Is it at New York?
It's at New York. We had 2 home games to start the season out, and now we go on the road. It's New York, and then I think after that, I think we play the Saints, which is going to be another fun game to watch.
Derek Carr looks good, I think. Which we both said it before the season even started. We said Derek Carr is going to have an MVP-like season. Not quite on that yet, but I think Derek Carr looks good.
Again, like we're in week 2, so a lot of these players they haven't played. Like Cole Strange and Michael Winu did not play in preseason. They did not play week 1, so that was their first game back. I'm really hoping that they can get their shit together because, my God, we need it on the O-line. If the O-line just gets a little bit better, I think our offense is fine. I like Juju Smith-Schuster. I like Kendrick Bourne. Kendrick Bourne looks like he's going to have a bounce-back year. We have a really good running attack with Stevenson and Zeke. Like, I used to dog on Zeke. Kind of like Zeke now because he's in the Patriots jersey. Same thing with Juju. I think the one player, he had a few flashes last night that I kind of got my attention, but I still think as far as receivers go, he's the worst, arguably, and that's Devontae Parker. He made some really good plays last night, but there's some times where it's just like, I don't like when Parker's out there on the field. I want to see Pop Douglas. I want to see Boutte. Hopefully Thornton comes back sometime soon because I really want to see what he can do out there.
Is he out? What's wrong with him? I didn't see him last night.
He's been hurt. He got hurt early in the preseason, just like last year. So eventually, hopefully he comes out of it. Dude's made out of paper mache.
He's thin.
Last year was a broken collarbone. It might be the same thing this year. It was either that or like a hamstring. I'm not entirely for certain, but he was only supposed to be out to like week 3 or week 4. The last I checked.
All right. Before we dive into fantasy, let's go with who's your biggest surprise of the NFL season so far, like team-wise, and who's your biggest disappointment?
Right now, the biggest surprise for me would probably be, I don't know. It's a really good question. Like the Raiders finally got a win. Patriots 2.0. I'm going to take that question because I've really been more focused on Patriots football than I have anything else. The biggest surprise for me up to this point for our franchise or for our team would be actually Keon White. Like, dude is a stud.
Yeah.
Biggest disappointment, Mike Gesicki? Maybe.
He really hasn't done much for you guys.
Hunter Henry he's shown clear, he's tight end number 1, and you're going to have to pry that role out of him if you want to make an impact. You got to fight him for it because he's made some hell of a plays in the last 2 weeks, and I think he's going to have a big year. Speaking of fantasy.
Go ahead.
Speaking of fantasy, that is actually someone I thought I was actually going to draft. I did not draft him. He went undrafted. And I took Dalton Kincaid and Greg Dulcich. I think that was my first 2 tight ends. And eventually, things just got shifted around. We never even talked about our rosters, but I cut Dulcich and brought in Henry. And it's actually paid off quite a bit. Not enough for me to get a win because I'm 0-2, but.
Are you officially out of it for this week?
Yeah. And my opponent still has their defense to play, and I'm down 12 points. So, 0-2.
I'm currently up 4 points at this moment, but Debo still has Nick Chubb's and Carolina Panthers defense, so I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Unless the Panthers put up -10.
They could.
Yeah.
It's not out of the equation. That's one thing I've learned about our fantasy league right now is at one point I thought I had the most loaded roster in our entire league, and I do not. It's just been weird. It's been a weird first 2 weeks.
It definitely has.
I hope things come together.
But to double back on my question I asked you, I'll actually answer my own question. My biggest surprise of the year, team-wise, is a tie between Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Bucks and the Falcons. Like, Bijan Robinson is that guy.
He is that guy.
He is explosive.
Him, Kyle Pitts, like those are two real big offensive weapons that the Falcons have taken in the first round. It worked.
They don't get Kyle Pitts the ball. Like, that dude is dynamic too, but they never look his way. I actually drafted him, and then I think I eventually released him because he does not get the plays that he should.
No, he doesn't.
But Baker Mayfield, he's back there, rookie Baker Mayfield, talking shit to people and just slinging it. I love it. Boy. Yeah, I love Baker.
Of anybody to take the place of Tom Brady down there, I guess that's the one to do it.
Exactly. But my biggest disappointment team of the year, and I think it goes without even question, is Joe Burrow and the Bengals.
That's horrible.
It's hard to say that they're disappointed, but they have looked absolutely just fucking ugly. But Bengals went 0-2 to start the year last year and made the AFC Championship game, so it's hard to put that into perspective. But so far, Joe Burrow does not look like he should be the richest quarterback.
I don't think he is. Is he? I know
he is.
Like officially the biggest, the highest NFL quarterback.
I have no idea what you just said.
I don't know if Burrow is the highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, I think he just got that. I think he's the highest paid. Alexa, is Joe Burrow the highest paid quarterback in the NFL? Yeah, 5-year, $275 million contract, highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Isn't it like kind of ironic though that whenever these players finally get paid, their like playing mentality kind of goes down to shitter a little bit?
It definitely does. It's weird.
Like same thing happened. Like, well, Deshaun Watson, I guess you can't really. Other things happen there, but like Russell Wilson, he got paid, went to the Denver Broncos. He looks better this year, but still, like last year, that wasn't Russ. That's not the Russ that we know.
Did you see that Hail Mary?
I did. That was fantastic.
That was awesome.
There's the Russell Wilson that I remember.
Exactly. He was actually able to like sling the ball, and that's what Russell Wilson is. He's a fucking gunslinger. Just let him roll out and let him sling it.
It all comes down to who's coaching that team, Nathaniel Hackett or Sean Payton. I'm going to take Sean Payton over Nathaniel Hackett any day of the week.
Oh yeah, I'd take Sean Payton.
That's where I kind of today I've been just reminding myself that it's only week 2. Things are going to get more serious as the season goes, and I know the repertoire our coaches have. We're going to get there eventually. It's just. Right now, what the hell are we going to do to put it all together?
Yeah.
First things first is we got to stop with these slow starts. This is horrible, y'all. sloppy in the first half. But second half, I get excited to watch because, damn. We're not the most boring team to watch. I will say that.
No. I do like to toot my own horn real quick. I did post a short before the Colts game, and though I wasn't 100% correct, I was halfway correct. I did say AR was going to have a breakout game, and he probably would have. He had the 2 first drives in 5 minutes. He had 2 rushing touchdowns. He was well on his way, and I said we will blow out the Houston Texans, and I said by a score of 31-7. And we did score 31 points, but we let the Texans creep back in, so it's 31-20. So that's not a bad prediction, though. I kind of had the Colts dialed in there.
You were talking about biggest disappointment as far as teams go. Do you want to talk about the Jets?
I don't know if you can call them a disappointment, though.
They got all their chips in.
Yeah.
For ultimately was like what? Like a minute and 37 seconds of actual play time?
3 plays, or was it 4 plays? I can't remember.
4 plays. It was 3 more than Abe Lincoln, y'all.
Yeah. That I felt.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me? I can't hear you, so I don't know what happened. And we're only 25 minutes into this. Uh-oh. Technical difficulties, y'all.
I can hear you just fine.
There we go. I can hear you now.
All righty.
Okay.
That was. All right. Well, anyway, so I used to not really care for Aaron Rodgers, but ever since he started coming on the Pat McAfee show, I slowly started to like him more. And I think it's because he doesn't give a fuck what anybody thinks.
No, yeah, he's regarded as like one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL history. So I can see where like he just don't care. Oh no. Uh-oh.
All right. All right. I think we're better now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
I don't know what's going on. We're good. But I was starting to jump around a little bit, and now I cleared up a little bit more. So, yeah, we're coming in on the 30-minute mark. So we'll try to keep this right at about an hour.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
What were we talking about there? We were talking about Aaron Rodgers.
I don't think there's anything wrong with the Jets defense, so I think they're good enough to keep them in games.
I'm going to say I feel kind of like Sauce might be in a sophomore slump a little bit.
I don't know. I haven't really seen his stats or anything.
He's not the guy he was his rookie year. So, yeah. I don't know. Maybe he'll pick it back up. I don't want to see that because, fuck the Jets.
He lost his best friend.
Speaking of which, and this kind of been like a running joke on the show that I kind of keep bringing up whenever I talk about Christian Gonzalez.
Oh shit!
Is that, no, we traded down, and the reason we traded down is because the Jets were going to take an offensive tackle. We traded with the Steelers to take the guy that the Jets really wanted for offensive tackle, and the position that player would have played if he went to the Jets would have probably been on the field whenever Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles. So that's a trade down that just keeps getting better and better by the week, y'all.
Yeah, like, maybe who would have.
I guess that's one way to take out a division rival. Now I just have to worry about the other two. I was kind of hoping that Josh Allen was going to take a big slump after week 1, but week 2 they come back with a fiery vengeance.
Yeah, but it was the Raiders.
It was the Raiders.
I think the Dolphins are that league's best or that division's best right now.
They're just fast.
Everywhere.
The whole team is fast.
Yeah, they have like 6 guys that run under 4.3s. That's stupid fast.
You have Tyreek Hill. You have Jalen Waddle. You have Raheem Mostert, who's still fast. They just picked up Devon Achane, which he might be the fastest running back in the NFL. I don't think he played last
very
night, but
well.
dude is quick.
Yeah, and Braxton Berrios fast.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
they're fast everywhere. Tua's probably, I don't know, he don't really run as much anymore, but he's still a scrambling fast quarterback.
they do have they have a cornerback. He played on the Rams and the Jags. You know who I'm talking about. Pretty sure he's hurt. I didn't see him last
Jalen
night.
Ramsey? Yeah, Jalen
Yeah.
Ramsey. He hasn't
Yeah,
played
really?
yet.
So that defense is just going to get better whenever Ramsey comes back.
Oh yeah, that's what they was talking about last night. They was saying that that defense is good, and Ramsey hasn't even played a snap for him yet.
No.
Yeah,
And I kind of feel like
I thought he was like kind of slowly inching downhill, but he looked really good last night.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know if I put their defense above or below us though. I firmly believe we have a top 5 defense right now.
The thing that makes their defense so good is their offense is so good. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like their offense is so fast, they can score so fast. Or they could just do like kind of what they did last night, just run the fucking ball and then their defense ain't on the field all the time.
Like I was thinking about this earlier. Like what is exactly the Patriot way? Like what is our play style? And the way I've always looked at it, the way I would want to describe that is that we have to have that top tier defense. And where we have a top tier defense, we have a offense that is going to manage the hell out of the game. I feel like back when we had Brady, back when we had Gronk and Edelman, and during the dynasty years, that's what had us apart from any other team. Is we had a defense that would shut down any team that we came against. Like we saw how the Dolphins were with the Chargers. They weren't that way last night.
No.
Like they were still high powered, but they were slowed down. And
that was like last night, like your offensive line got pressure, but Tua got rid of the ball so fast.
It did.
Yeah,
but we have a secondary that you could tell like some of these guys are just they're out there on a mission.
Yeah.
Guys like Kyle Duggar, Christian Gonzalez, young rookie who made a hell of a play last night with his first career interception. Matthew Judon, Josh Uche, like those two are just a really good tandem at linebacker. Jawan Bentley, throw him on top of it too. We have a really good defense. And that's always been the case because like you go through Patriots history, a lot of the players that I'm going to bring up are defensive guys. The McCourty brothers, Dante Hightower, Stephon Gilmore, J.C. Jackson, Vince Wilfork. Vince Wilfork is another dude. Was a monster. The way the Patriots system works, like defense comes first, and then we have an offense that's going to stretch the game out, wear down defenses over time. And right now, we just don't have that. I kind of feel like they want to go into more a high-powered direction on offense, but it doesn't work in the first quarter. It doesn't work in the second quarter. We get to halftime, things start to click together, but we dig ourselves too deep into a hole that we just can't come out of.
Yeah.
And I think a big part of that is our offense just isn't really willing to take chances. And doubling back to what I said earlier, when it is 2nd and 1 and you call a quarterback sneak, you are nervous to play offense.
That is a bit odd.
At least just try to run the ball if you're that eager. Like, we have a really good running back system right now, too.
You got Stevenson and you got Zeke. Each one of them get you 1 yard.
At least one.
Mm-hmm.
Which, so going to fantasy, like we're going to kind of slowly transition to this. At one point, I did have Derrick Henry as my running back 1, but I threw a lot of chips on the table with this trade, but I traded Derrick Henry cleanup for Ramondre Stevenson. Because I think even right now with the way the O-line is, if they get better, I feel like Stevenson's going to do better than Henry. I think Henry's kind of at that point where he's kind of starting on that downhill slope a little bit.
I think so.
To where
He's like
Stevenson's young, he's got an upward trend. He had a hell of a year last year. He's going to get better. I think that was actually it's a risky trade, but the high end is what I'm focused on.
How about the risky trade you traded me?
Which one? We've done 3.
I'm talking about the Jonathan Taylor trade.
So, and I apologize for this, y'all. My video is going to freeze up here.
We're going to fantasy. Fantasy. We'll be able to hear him, but his video is going to freeze while he checks the app. But anyways, we're talking about Jonathan Taylor.
I'll exactly talk about the transaction. Yeah, we're going over to fantasy.
Here we go.
So let's see. Our first trade, I received A.J. Brown, and Nick here received Deebo Samuel and Jonathan Taylor.
But it's a very, very risky trade. Would I trade Deebo straight up for A.J. Brown? Because Deebo is dynamic. He does the run game and he does the pass game. And I was banking on Jonathan Taylor coming back week 5 and being 2021 Jonathan Taylor. Could Jonathan Taylor possibly sit out for the whole season and never see the field? Possibly. But I'm hoping that doesn't happen. I think we lost him. Are you still with us, Shelby? Oh, no.
Here I am.
Oh, there he is.
So, okay. You brought up the whole gamble with Jonathan Taylor. I'm gonna throw this out there. I thought 2 things whenever we were drafting players. The first thing was Taylor's still on the board, and it's like the 5th round. Do I take him on the gamble that he's going to be good in the after he comes back at week 5, week 6? Like that's going to be a big edge. But I also kind of thought Nick is going to want this guy.
Yeah.
If I scoop him up now, I kind of wonder what I'm going to be able to get away from him. And honestly, I kind of think I've come out on top with our trades.
Well, the way I look at it is you offered me Deebo and Jonathan Taylor, and I think Deebo is just as dynamic as A.J. Brown because he does the run game too. So I thought them 2 were pretty even, but then to get Jonathan Taylor as a kicker that could possibly see the field and be dynamic again, I was happy with. So
if he makes it back to the field, though, that's the big thing. Like that's the gamble.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm going to give credit to you on that. I feel like on that trade specifically, though, I did get A.J. Brown. And we're talking about receiver cores. I already had a good one. Deebo was my wide receiver 3.
Yeah.
When you're talking about Justin Jefferson and Jalen Waddle, who, like, he's wide receiver too. But, like, you got Tyreek Hill. He's going to get double coverage. So, Jalen Waddle's pretty safe bet to be wide receiver 2. Deebo, he was my wide receiver 3 as far as projections go. So to me, that's not a big it's not a huge loss.
Yeah. It kind of hurts me just like a little bit because I do have Brandon Ayuk too. So I'm starting 2 San Francisco 49ers receivers. So their pass game gets shut down. I'm fucked for the week.
Yeah, and their bye week? Well, that's an automatic L.
Well, I have other receivers to rely on. And I have something cooking up for week 3 and 4 if my waiver wires go through. So we'll see. We'll definitely be back to post on that if that goes through. So, yeah, just a little thing. It's not nothing huge by no means, but if it falls through and what happens, what I think will happen, I could have a big week. But It's the NFL. Nobody knows what the fuck's going to happen.
Right. Kind of like with me. Like, I've made a couple of other trades. We've made a couple more trades that we're going to sit here and talk about. The big one was Derrick Henry for Stevenson. Like, that's a bold move, but I think the upside of Stevenson versus kind of the downhill side that I'm seeing with Henry, I don't think that I'm going to – if I'm going to take a loss, it's not going to be a huge loss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if the upside is there, the upside is there. Like Stevenson did rush for over 1,000 yards last year. He is running back number 1 on our team.
Oh, yeah.
But speaking of which, we do have a couple other trades we want to talk about. We kind of fucked over our league a little bit with this because we're conspirating.
A little bit. It was kind of just it wasn't really fucking over, but it was more of like a friendly trade. Like, it's like, hey, you give me this guy, let me play him this week, and then I'll give you what you want. It was kind of that thing. It was more I scratch your back, you scratch my type of deal.
But I didn't quite get what I wanted.
No, you tried to fucking switch it up last week. Yeah.
Yeah. Show my colors a little bit. I kind of wanted to screw the system just a little bit. It didn't work, though.
I wanted DeAndre Swift because I think behind that offensive line, he is going to be dynamic if they proceed to continue to run the ball with them. I mean, Eagles might switch up their whole offense and just start air raiding, and then the trade that I traded with him and A.J. Brown starts hitting. So it's just whether they go with what I think they'll go. But anyways, I traded DeAndre Swift, or I got DeAndre Swift, and I traded you Hurts, right?
Yeah, I got Jalen Hurts. And in return, I'm taking my quarterback 1, which was Lamar Jackson, and I get Travis Etienne.
Yeah, but you wanted Eckler.
I want Eckler. I was like, I really like Etienne too. I kind of feel like he
can be explosive.
He can be explosive. He was not this week, though.
He's battling cramps this week.
And I'm worried about that. I kind of feel like I kind of screwed myself a little bit. Not necessarily. I got Jalen Hurts. Hurts is going to put up numbers. Lamar, I saw him week 1. I was upset because Mac Jones, who I didn't have on the roster at the time. I had Kirk Cousins and Lamar Jackson. Kirk Cousins put up more points, and I was pissed. Second week, I had Mac Jones and Lamar Jackson. Very similar outcomes. I was like, it really would not have mattered who I had starting a quarterback, especially now because I'm losing by 10 points. My whole team's played. And my opponent still has I think their defense.
Well, you're losing by 10?
Yeah, I'm losing by 12, but they still have their defense. So 0-2, probably going to drop down to the bottom of the pack, but I'm going to slowly bounce back.
Who's their defense?
Let's look.
But I say, because, if their defense has an absolute shit game and they fucking start doing the negative points.
It's the Steelers' defense. I don't think they're going to do a shit show. It's possible.
Yeah, I don't think about that.
Yeah.
I don't think negative 12 wise, but I think Browns would have to put up 50 plus and 500 plus yards.
Well, that's kind of what fucked me last week.
Oh yeah.
Last week I lost 116 to 145, and the difference was the 38 points the Cowboys scored.
Yeah.
It sucks. It sucks so damn much.
Yeah, the Cowboys defense went absolutely off. And then I thought the Giants were about to get blown out by the Cardinals this week.
That would have been funny. They did.
Yeah,
they got the win. They won the battle. I think they lost the war, though, because Barkley got carted off again.
He didn't get carted off, but he does have another ankle injury, which is huge. And somebody in our league has Barkley. I wonder who that is. Who does have Barkley?
Let me see.
Devin has CMC, and they need to stop fucking handing that guy the ball.
I really like that pick. I kind of feel like he messed up so bad whenever he didn't take Justin Jefferson. Thank God forever was pick number 2.
CMC's going off. I don't know if he has as many points as Jefferson, but he is still going off.
I played you this week. Yeah, Team Tamako 2 has Saquon Barkley, and he scored 27 points this week.
And Barkley got hurt.
But okay, since we're talking about the actual draft, the first overall pick in our draft was CMC, and
oh no, we lost him again. Wait for him to come back. While he comes back, we'll talk about my league or my week 1. I lost. Can't remember who I played, but it wasn't too bad. I think I scored like 130 points. And then week 2, I'm at 137 right now. And Debo, who I'm playing, has 132 points, but he still has Nick Chubb and the Carolina Panthers defense to still play. Excuse me. So it's not looking good for the home team there. So just like Shelby here, my co-host, we are going to both be 0-2 after this week. So while we wait for him to reconnect, we'd like to take a word from our sponsors. Ha! Just kidding. We ain't got no sponsors.
What are you talking about? We have the Kraken. I don't have my Kraken on me right now, but we do have. They send us free shit. Okay, I like talking about the Kraken.
Yeah, we do have.
I want to go get my Kraken. It's out in my Jeep. What? Hold up. Wait a minute.
I think I have a beer in here.
Aha! The Kraken. For those who like to shotgun beer but don't know how to shotgun beer, this is the tool for you.
Do you have your Kraken?
It's simple. It is effective. And it is the most enjoyable experience you will ever have trying to shotgun beers. For those novices, this is the tool for you. I will demonstrate.
I don't have a beer, or I would be right with them, but I don't have a beer. I have a little Buffalo Trace and Dr. Pepper, but we'll let him play. I am definitely the better in this.
And look at this. It is portable. It comes with its own little keychain. You can put it on your keys. I wouldn't because this pointy here thing is sharp and it will stab you in the leg.
What a fucking spokesperson you are.
But look at this. It has a little notch here. You just put it on the bottom of the can. Tilt your can downward and give it a nice push. And that's the sound of freedom.
That was fucking brilliant.
Look, that was a pint can, y'all. It took me a few more extra seconds.
Yeah, that was what was that? What are you drinking on?
Perfection in a can.
Oh, it looks different. It looks like a craft beer.
You know me better than that. We tried that one.
It's very crafty.
Perfection in the can.
Exactly.
But yes, we do have a video on our TikTok for those who want to buy a Kraken and support the channel. We do have a link that we would be more than happy to give you. And support this product because it is perfect.
Just for him shotgunning this beer, I will make another TikTok post advertising this Kraken again with the link down below so it's easier to find. So you don't have to scroll through 1,000 of our videos to find it.
We made a whole little advertisement video for it.
We did. And this channel, we are going live. We are just recently established a schedule. We're not live. No, we will be posting a video every Sunday or Monday. There's a little 24-hour gap period there between his schedule and mine. Either Sunday or Monday every week we will be posting. And on TikTok, I try to be pretty active on there. We post videos, and I'm very active on YouTube Shorts. I post a lot of NFL content, like new videos, funny videos, a lot of the funnier videos, like go check out the link or go check out the YouTube short from Bill Belichick last night throwing the challenge flag. It's absolutely hilarious.
I love the way he throws challenge flags. Like that. The last 2 weeks, he's thrown a challenge flag, and both times it gets me every single time. It's with authority, David.
Judge, he's like, fuck you, guy.
Right in front of that lineman. Like, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, I love it.
Bill does not care.
I love it. But
I
think that's about to wrap up this episode. It was a very productive episode. I'm very happy with it.
No, we didn't talk about. Did we talk about the rest of our trades on our fantasy league?
Yeah, we talked about the Eckler, the ETN trade for Hurts. Yeah, we talked about it.
Do you want to go into week 3 matchups to see what projections are?
Yeah, we can go ahead to week 3 matchups real quick. Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about this. I'm going to give you what your matchup is and tell me how confident you are. Let me see. You're going up against Team Big Bird 3-2. Projection stats are Team Regis 719 at 38% and Big Bird at 62%.
I am confident in this matchup that I will come out with a W because if you look at my lineup, I currently have 2 people out. I just have a blank. I'm waiting for waiver wires to hit before I fully adjust my lineup. I think I could clearly come out with a W for this week.
Oh, no. My lady is calling, so I guess we did have to cut this episode short.
All right. Well, there we go. And it's been a pleasure, and we will talk to you guys either Sunday or Monday. Signing off, Shelby. See you guys.